Welcome to ViewTheRace.com. This is the full Vineman Triathlon Bike Course, Part 4. This is miles 92 through 112, the last 20 miles of the bike course. So as we head out on Route 128, again, continuation of the farmland. This part of the course is actually pretty flat. Hopefully you're feeling good at this point in the course. At this point in the course, I would conserve a little bit of energy. You know that not too far down the road, you're going to be faced with Chalk Hill for the second time. So at this point in the course, you want to maybe grab a gel or grab some nutrition or some hydration and get prepared for that final tough climb up Chalk Hill. Now, as soon as you take a right on Chalk Hill Road, there's going to be a water stop. I would highly recommend stopping there and making sure you top off the tanks. Make sure you get enough water. If you need a break or you're not feeling that good, maybe take a little 5-minute break if needed. If not, just definitely you want to stop and make sure you top off the tanks before you climb Chalk Hill and finish the remaining 10 miles of the bike course. Okay, crossing through mile 95. So the water stop is going to be right here, right on the side of the road. Now you know, because you've already done this part of the course before, Chalk Hill does not come right away as soon as you turn on Chalk Hill Road. It actually just continues with the same type of terrain for a few miles, and then you have the false Chalk Hill, which is a lot shorter and a lot less steep. And then a few miles later, you actually face the big climb. Road narrows just a bit on Chalk Hill Road, and there's quite a few patches of rough road on Chalk Hill Road. Just be aware of that. Now you start this false, this is not Chalk Hill, but this is a tough climb right here. It's not overly long, but it's tough, and then you have a very fast downhill right on the back side of it. Now you know from the first time around, Chalk Hill is not overly difficult if it was a standalone hill, but because it's in an Ironman event and it comes right at mile 100, a little after mile 100, on the second time around, could be very difficult. Now when I did this event, I was in really bad shape at this point in the course, and it took everything I had in my lowest gear to make it up Chalk Hill the second time around, where the first time around it was a little bit easier. Now I slow down the tape again. This is Chalk Hill. If you're nervous about this climb at all, I would highly recommend watching the video and just kind of memorizing how many turns there are, because you're not going to be able to see around each corner, and if you're really hurting, it would be beneficial to know how many switchbacks you have left or turns in the road. Now it doesn't start out too steep, but there's a lot of rough road on the hill, which doesn't help with your momentum going up. And it does get pretty steep. Very steep through here. Really starts to kick up. Again, there were a lot of spectators on both sides of the road cheering you on. Hopefully that motivates you to get to the top. Okay, and as you crest the top, now you have that screaming downhill. Now the good thing about Chalk Hill is that once you get up and over that hill, there really is not any major challenges for the remainder of the bike course. You get a nice downhill there, and then it just goes back to the same type of terrain that you've encountered for most of the race. When I did this event, I was really dead through here. It took everything I had to make it up Chalk Hill the second time. And these final 10 miles, even though they're not that difficult, I had nothing left. So I could just barely turn the pedals, and I really did not enjoy my last 10 miles of my Ironman. You can check out my blog post and hear the sordid details at viewtherace.com. But I was really struggling through here, and it also got pretty hot. And as you know, in an Ironman event, if you don't take care of your nutrition and your hydration, and you start to get really hot, you know it's not going to be pretty. Good thing is you have this nice downhill. Right as you crest that hill, this is a really nice long downhill. Just kind of wind your way around. This was a really nice break in the course, especially with my dead legs. Okay, we're still in farm country, but we're kind of working our way back to civilization. Again, no major climbs for the last few miles. As you work your way up this small hill, you're going to take a right, and if you remember from the first time around, there's a really nice downhill right here. As soon as you turn on East Shiloh Road, it's not a really steep downhill, but the road is nice and smooth, and your speed automatically kicks up a few miles an hour with no effort. This was a nice little stretch. The road really flattens out here too. Take the right on Fulton Road. Again, as we work our way back towards the high school. Cross 101, go over the overpass. This was a little bit of a hill, but it was short. And you have a nice little downhill on the backside. Again, there'll be like a middle lane coned off as you go through these lights. Police presence was very good. No issue going through these lights. Okay, as you take this right on Skylane Boulevard, there was a few patches of rough patches on this road, just to be aware of. As you work your way to the top of Skylane, you're going to be taking a left at the lights. Little bit of a hill here as we get to the end of the road. You go by the cemetery. At the top of the hill, you're going to take a right, and you're going to be on Windsor Road, and the high school is on Windsor Road, so you know you're close. Take a little time, spin out your legs on this nice flat last mile. Now, instead of taking a left on Riemann like you did the first time, you're going to take a left into the high school. You're going to continue straight, and now you're going to take a left into the high school and go to transition. Thank you for viewing the race at viewtherace.com.